Always great to talk to David Ross, the two-time World Series champion with the 2013 Boston Red Sox and, of course, the 2016 Chicago Cubs, ESPN contributor, Dancing with the Stars, and author, and he's working with Cradles to Crayons today. David, let's start with your beloved Cubs. No Rizzo, no Javi Baez. They're chasing the Cardinals. They're tied with the Brewers. Do you think this team has a fifth straight playoff appearance in them?
Man, good question. Well, they've kind of exceeded expectations with Javi down for sure, and now Riz going down. I mean, Nico Horner really been a spark for the lineup. This kid can really play, and you just kind of fall in love with watching him play. And Yu Darvish has really stepped up. I think they've got to get their pitching locked in. If John Lester and Cole Hamels start to throw a little bit better, I definitely think they got a chance and could probably go deep if the starting pitching pitches the way it's capable of.
It's fair to say that you probably never would have been a Cub if you and John Lester didn't have the bond that you had, right?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. I mean, this guy, I mean, beyond baseball, this guy's done so much for me and my family. But, of course, we created a great relationship in Boston and winning that championship and kind of getting paired up, especially down the stretch in 13. And then he had such a good year in 14 before he got traded. And then him just, being that part of telling Theo and Jed and bringing me over was huge. I owe so much to him and the guys in general. And Mike, I mean, you know my stats, Mark. I don't have any crazy stats to jump off the table, but it's kind of cool that people embrace me, especially the city of Chicago, and being able to do a lot of this stuff here, like this event with Huggies and Walgreens and Cradles to Crayons is really unique to me. Being able to help out and give back is special to me. So it all comes back to those guys that really lifted me up and put me on that pedestal.
250,000 diapers here, David Ross. That's not nothing.
How about that, man? I know it's pretty cool when you get to see these numbers. I mean, I think when you're blessed like I have been and we are in the baseball world, you take for granted simple things like diapers, and you see these stats like 1 in 3 families in the U.S. without diapers and in need of diapers and having to miss school and work and not being able to go because they don't have enough clean diapers. It's crazy to me. And so just being a part of this and raising awareness to do stuff like this with Huggies and Walgreens and Cradles to Crayons is cool. $10,000 they're giving, 250,000 wipes, and over 2 million nationally. So, I mean, that's when you see those numbers and I read these stats, when I get this information, it just blows my mind.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have always given back a ton. John with Never Quit, and Anthony and Rizzo
right.
doing stuff for Lurie Children's, and this is awesome, too. Let me go back to Lester.
Right.
If you were working with him right now, what you're seeing, David, how would you get him locked in, if anything?
Well, I talked to him yesterday, actually. I think it's just a little bit – what happens at the back end of your career sometimes is you grind in and one little thing goes wrong, you make an error, and they haven't been great defensively. Like, you start to manipulate the ball. John doesn't throw like 96 like he used to when I first started catching him. So, when a couple things go wrong and air behind you, it's a little bit tougher to get out of traffic and limit the damage. So I think for him, it's just getting downhill, getting that fastball command has always been key for him when he's getting that angle on his fastball. And I've talked to him about all this. He knows it's keeping his posture. And the guys with the Cubs, with Mike Borzello, Tommy Hotovy, the pitching coach, those guys, we have conversations every once in a while. They know all his tendencies from the years of being with him, and he knows. And I just like to be a sounding board every once in a while to him and what he might be seeing or thinking or feeling.
So some people are saying Lester's cooked, and I'm like, I wouldn't go that far, especially this time of year. Somehow, some way, I feel like that guy's going to find it.
But there you go. I mean, the resume speaks for itself, and you're probably one of the unique ones in that realm. Everybody wants to just see, and be negative when a guy's struggling. It's about finding your confidence. I know one thing, when this guy's pitching as many big games as anybody, especially when it comes to postseason time and been that guy you want to give the ball to take it to the promised land. I mean, I don't have 2 rings without John Lester, so I'm extremely confident when he's on the mound for the team he's pitching for. This guy's resume speaks for himself, so you're exactly right.
Where are you at, David, as far as your desire to get back in the dugout? Are you feeling that itch at all?
Man, great question. I think that's one of those things that it's going to have to be the right opportunity to come back for me. for the most part, I live a pretty good life. The TV stuff is really fun to call baseball games. I've got 50 days with ESPN that I work. I get to poke my head into the draft and go to spring training with the Cubs and be a part of cool events in Chicago like this. So things are pretty good. I've got small kids at home. I've got a 12-year-old daughter and and a 10-year-old son and a 4-year-old. So when you're talking about like this diaper need and all these things that hit home, I think that it goes back to like, what's the opportunity to get out of this lifestyle I live now and to get back in the game. But I'll tell you, my heart definitely itches to get in that dugout at times and be a part of something special that I've been a part of before. So there's a push-pull for sure, and it's going to have to be a unique opportunity that would pull me away from my family and the sacrifices you make to be in the major leagues.
And that rumor is just out there every day. And for the record, I don't think the Cubs should be moving on from Joe Madden, but
me either. For the record,
right? But if they do, then it's you. And people are saying that the next manager of the Chicago Cubs, David Ross. Like, when you see that, what's your reaction?
I think there must be idiots writing these articles. I don't know, man. Like, honestly, like, all joking aside, like, it's a huge honor, right? Like, people think you're the best guy for a job to run an organization, and such a prominent organization. I mean, it's a huge honor. But I go back to, people have no idea what Joe Madden has brought to the team, what he's done, his resume. The grass isn't always greener. Do I one day have an itch to manage? That's definitely crossed my mind, especially with all the rumors that fly around. And do I want to put my stamp on a team and the things I believe in? Of course. Like, you see things. I mean, I think even as a casual fan, you start to want to kind of do things your way. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's all about opportunity. I think when you have to give up and sacrifice family time, and it's got to be worth it. It's got to be worth your while to get back in the dugout. You got to have a passion for it, because I don't do things halfway. I go all in, and so that's a huge commitment from me. But it's definitely flattering to hear those rumors.
Do you look at this team like they've underachieved? I mean, the guys in there will say we have all this talent, but on the other hand, baseball's hard. There's a lot. The other teams try to beat you,
and that's the category I fall into. Like, baseball's hard. I don't care what the numbers tell you and what the expectations are. Baseball is really hard, and I think underachieving, what does that even mean? Like, I know I watch these guys play and they lay it on the line night in and night out. I watch them probably closer than I do the rest of the baseball world, and so I think baseball is very, very, very difficult. And so that's kind of the category I fall under.
And last one for you. There was a game last night that lasted 6 hours. The Giants are playing 24 pitching changes. You've got teams trying to load up and hit homers every day. The Minnesota Twins have 5 guys with 30 home runs, which has never happened before. Do we need to change any of the rules in baseball in your mind?
Oh, man. I think I leave those things, those important things, to people smarter than me. But I definitely think, as a fan now, like, when I'm playing, when I was playing, I didn't want the game messed with. Don't mess with my game. I love the game. I know how it plays out and how to win. Now, when I watch the game, I definitely feel like it's, can be kind of gruesome to watch at times. It gets a little long. The pitching changes. It's not a fun game to watch night in and night out. I root for people a lot of the times too. So, I watch the game a little bit differently than maybe a casual fan rooting for a certain organization. But definitely something needs to I'll tell you this, Mark, when I do the Little League World Series for ESPN, It's my favorite thing that we do. The games are fast. The kids are unique. The ball's put in play. There's great defense, and it's 6 innings. And I swear, like, the 4th inning matters is a big deal. Like, I love doing the games. I love watching the games. I think it's fun. People are tuning in at home. So I'm not saying you change Major League Baseball to 6 innings. I'm just saying something needs to change where it's exciting, and the 3rd, 4th, 5th inning matter.
I'm pretty sure it was the 6th inning when Andrew Miller threw you a fastball and you took it out in Game 7 of the World Series. If he throws you a slider there, David Ross, do you still hit a homer on that pitch?
No. No, and I don't get to do cradles to crayons and affect all these people in the world with diapers. If he goes to be a slider, I don't get to bring awareness to do interviews with you. No doubt, that was a huge selection. That's why every pitch matters. And as much as you want to break down and speed the game up, slowing the game down, and from a catching perspective, being on the same page and calling the right pitch, all that stuff matters of making history. And that's what I'm trying to do on the field when you're out there. That's what you're trying to do when you're doing cool events like this. I mean, you're trying to bring awareness. You're trying to make history, trying to change the world in a positive way. And that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, you're working with Huggies and Walgreens. You're donating 2 million diapers nationwide, 250,000 in Chicago. Just last word, why was this so important for you?
Well, it started last year with the awareness for me, and the group with the Cradles to Crayons, Walgreens, and Huggies all came back and asked me to be a part of it. And the people that work here, the lives you're affecting, the families that come in and get this. And I didn't even know that diaper banks existed, right? Like, a lot of people don't know that. The more you get that word out there, the more it's going to affect these families that are missing work and school, these moms that are having to, not to have diapers for their children. It blows my mind. And so I just wanted for a person that took diapers for granted and, would get a new one every chance I got, it just brought a great awareness, and I think it's a great cause, and it's a definite need in our country and in Chicago.
David Ross, thanks for the time. Great to talk to you.
Thank you.